Hello and welcome to lesson 43 of this B1 course with Perfectly Spoken. My name is Ellen and I will be teaching you today. We're going to be doing a vocabulary lesson looking at some very useful language to help make you sound more natural when speaking English. Okay, so let's get started. To move to our first slide. Okay. So we're going to be looking at life changes using the verb get. Okay, so today we will look at some collocations using the verb get. For example, you get rich, get a promotion, and these are big changes in your life, or they can be. And we will also think about the different meanings of get. So this verb is used in different ways, different collocations, but its meaning changes. So we will think about that. And we will also learn some idiomatic phrases using get. Okay, in an idiomatic phrase, get changes, it doesn't have a strict meaning, strict definition. You can look it up in a dictionary and just find one definition. It changes all the time. It changes in collocations, and that's what we're going to think about first. And it also changes in different idiomatic phrases. You have to think of the phrase as a whole, not just the individual words. So, get is a very useful verb in English, and it's important that you get used to using it. See, it appears all over the place, so we need to get used to using this verb. So, are you familiar with get? Have you heard it and wondered what it means? Well, today we will see that it can mean so many different things. So, let's get started. And here's the next slide. Okay, we have an expression in English. A change is as good as a rest. Do you agree with this expression? Do you have something similar in your language? In my opinion, it's very true. If you're exhausted, you're going to work every day, you're doing the same thing every day, and you feel really tired, if you just change something, change where you live or the time that you get up or the exercise that you do, you feel so much better. So personally, I agree. Do you agree? And what changes happen in our lives? Lots of different changes happen in our lives, and that's what we're going to think about using collocations with get. So lots of changes can happen, and often in English we'll use get to talk about these changes. So let's have a look at some of these collocations. So, what's happening to this man? Get rich. Pretty lucky. What about this one? In this one we've got a red carpet, we've got lots of cameras, paparazzi, the media taking photos. This person, get famous. And what about this man? He's wearing a hat, he's obviously in university with holding a rolled up scroll, a piece of paper. He has got a degree, to get a degree. So here are three get collocations: get rich, get famous, and get a degree. And which have happened to you? Okay, so now we're going to look at some more collocations with get, and I want you to think about which ones have happened in your life. I hope they're all positive. We will find out now. So we have got get rich, get famous, get a new job, get a degree, get engaged, get better, get lucky, get old, get fit, get a promotion. So which of these have happened to you? Okay, in my life, recently I got a degree in natural sciences, which I was very happy about. I haven't got famous yet, but maybe with these lessons with Perfectly Spoken, I will get famous. I don't think so, but we can try. Get fit. I've never been really unfit, but so I guess I'm always trying to get fit. And as yet, I haven't got old, in my opinion. Depends who you talk to. But in my opinion, I haven't got old yet. What do you think? Which of these things have happened to you? Pause the recording, and I'd like you to practice talking and talk to yourself, talk to a friend. Which of these have happened to you? Okay, welcome back. I hope you're getting used to using the verb get in these collocations. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. I want you to, using one of those collocations, what is happening to this young man? Maybe you can remember. He is getting a degree, that's right. He's at university, he's wearing a hat, he's got that scroll of paper, and he is getting a degree. Okay, what has happened to this lady? If you look at the picture on the left, she looks very unwell. She's drinking a drink to try and make a hot drink, I imagine, to make herself feel better. She's got a scarf on. She doesn't look very happy. But in the picture on the right, she has got better. She has improved. She's feeling much more colourful, as the photograph indicates. Okay, and what have these people done? If you look, they're standing together and looking at the beautiful views, and they have got to the top of the mountain. They've been climbing or walking, and finally they have got to the top of the mountain. And what is wrong with this lady? She looks very confused. She's asking lots of questions. What is wrong with this lady? She hasn't got it. She's very confused. Okay, so in those different pictures, with those different pictures, we had 4 different uses of get, and in each one, get had a different meaning. So let's think about those different meanings of get. So, if you get a degree, you receive a degree. If you get better, you become better. If you get to the top, you arrive at the top. If you don't get it, you don't understand. So there are 4 different meanings of get. There's receive, become, arrive, understand. Okay, in these examples, we've got 4 different meanings of get. So in task 2, I'd like you to find the verb get, and I'd like you to think about the meaning of the verb. Does it mean to receive, to arrive, to become, or to, what was the other one? To understand. So which of those 4 is it in these examples? Okay, let's have a look. Excuse me. I went straight to bed as soon as I got home. She got loads of lovely birthday presents. He didn't get what the teacher was saying. My sister is getting married soon. So in these 4 sentences, what is the meaning of get? I'd like you to pause on this slide, on the next slide, and replace get with one of those more familiar verbs, I imagine. So pause the recording now and replace get with receive, become, arrive, or understand. Okay, welcome back. Very good. Let's see how you got on. Let's see if you can understand the different meanings of get. So, in the first sentence, I went straight to bed as soon as I got home, as soon as I arrived home. She got lots of lovely birthday presents. She received lots of lovely birthday presents. He didn't get what the teacher was saying. He didn't understand what the teacher was saying. My sister is getting married soon. My sister is becoming married soon. So, how did you get on? I hope you can see the get has really quite different meanings in different situations. Okay, so what about you? I want you to answer these questions out loud and practice talking, practice using get. The more that you use it, at first it sounds a bit strange, but the more you use it, the more natural it will become. So, pause the recording to answer these questions. What about you? Did you get a special birthday present last birthday? When was the last time you got ill? How long did it take you to get better? What do you do if you don't get it in English class? What time do you get home in the evening? Okay, so like I said, I'd like you to pause the recording, talk to yourself, talk to a friend, talk to your cat, and answer the questions out loud. Okay? Using get all the way. Okay, here are the questions. Pause the recording now. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to answer the questions for me, just to give you an idea, but I'm sure your answers were different and more interesting. We'll see. Okay, so, did you get a special birthday present last birthday? Honestly, no, I didn't. I had lovely presents, and for me, the best present is hanging out with my friends and my family and going for dinner with them. So in that way, I had a good present. When was the last time you got ill? How long did it take you to get better? I've been very, very lucky this winter. I didn't get that ill. So it didn't take me long to get better. I've maybe had a cold for a couple of days, but on the whole, I've been very well this winter, so that's good. So it didn't take me long to get better. And what do you do if you don't get it in English class? For me, in Spanish class, because I'm studying Spanish. So if I don't get it in Spanish class, I will always try and stop the teacher and ask for, or maybe not stop the teacher, but I'll ask for help, put my hand up, get the teacher's attention. And I imagine if you're doing an online course, you have to pause the recording, get your dictionary, speak to a friend, because you can't ask the teacher directly. And the last question, what time do you get home in the evening? It depends for me. Every day is different. On a Monday, I get home at about 7:30. Whereas on a Wednesday, I get home at about 10:30 at night. So every day is very, very different for me. What about you? What time do you get home in the evening? Okay, let's move on and let's think about some idiomatic expressions with get. Okay, so with these collocations, get had those four meanings: understand, become, arrive, and receive. That's when it's used as a collocation. But it can also be used in little idiomatic phrases, and you need to learn the phrase as a whole, not just learn get, because what does get mean? So we need to learn the expression as a whole and get familiar with the expression. So here we go. We've got lots of idiomatic phrases with get for you. For example, get out of here. That's amazing. Let's get down to planning our holidays. If you are lonely, you need to get out there and meet new people. Stop picking on your little brother. Get off his back. So a mother would say that to an older brother or sister. And when you pick on somebody, it means that you're mean, you're nasty, you're... So stop picking on your little brother and get off his back. My dad doesn't know any famous pop stars nowadays. He needs to get with it. Okay, so my dad is 70 and he hangs out, spends time with my nephews who are around 10 years old. Obviously, they know famous pop stars, singers. My dad doesn't. So he needs to get with it so that he can communicate with my nephews. Get a life and have some fun. So maybe you would say this to a friend who's a bit boring and complaining about being boring. Get a life. And finally, it's only October and I'm already doing my Christmas shopping. I want to get a head start. Okay, I'm a very organized person. I want to get a head start. Okay, so here we have 7 idiomatic phrases using get. And get on its own doesn't make any sense. So you really do need to learn the phrase as a whole. So let's keep going. So I'd like you to match the idiomatic phrases using get, which are on the left, to the explanation on the right. Okay, so pause the recording and match the idiomatic phrase using get to the explanation on the other side. Okay, pause the recording now. Okay, welcome back. How did you get on? Let's have a look. So here are the answers. So get out of here. I don't believe you. Maybe you've won the lottery or something incredible has happened in your life. I don't believe you. Get out of here. Number 2, if you get down to something, you start doing something. You've got a lot of work to do, you need to get down to it. And number 3, get out there. Maybe you sit at home and you complain about being bored and a friend says to you, come on, get out there, socialise and meet people. Number 4, get off his back. Okay, this is the example I gave you before where a mother maybe tells an older brother or an older sister to stop picking on their little brother. Get off his back. It means to leave him alone. Give him space and leave him alone. Number 5, get with it. You need to understand and familiarise yourself with new fashions or information. Okay, my example was my dad, who's 70, who spends time with his grandchildren that are around 10 years old, and he doesn't know the same famous people, he doesn't know the same fashions, so he needs to understand and familiarise himself with the new fashions, the new information. He needs to get with it. Okay, number 6, get a life. Do something interesting. Again, maybe you have a friend who's sitting at home and bored. They need to get out there, they need to get a life. So get out there is to socialise and meet people, and get a life is to do something interesting. Very, very similar, to be honest. And number 7, get a head start. Start doing something in plenty of time. Maybe it's Christmas or some big event is happening soon and you want to start preparing in advance. So you get a head start. Or maybe you've got a new course and you don't want to be behind, you want to do well in this course. So you get a head start. You start studying early. How did you get on? I hope you can see the different uses of get, and I think it's good fun personally. Okay, so what would you say to a friend using one of these get expressions? Get out of here, get down to, get out there, get off his back, get with it, get a life, get a head start. What would you say to a friend who said to you, I've just won the lottery? What would you say to a friend who said, it may be Saturday night, but I'm going to bed at 8:30? What would you say to a friend who said, I don't know anyone in this town? And what would you say to a friend who said, I have so many things to do before the summer holidays? Okay, so pause the recording and think of one of those idiomatic phrases using get. How would you respond to these friends? Okay. Welcome back. Let's have a look together. So, what would you say to a friend who said, oh, sorry, there was another one, I forgot that. My boss isn't very nice to me at work. What would you say to this friend? Okay, now. Okay, I've just won the lottery. I would say, get out of here. I don't believe you. Get out of here. What would you say to a friend who said, it may be Saturday night, but I'm going to bed at 8:30? You are so boring. Get a life. What would you say to that friend? I don't know anyone in this town. If a friend said that to me, I would say, you need to get out there and meet new people. I have so many things to do before the summer holidays. What would you say to this friend? I would say, why don't you do things now and get a head start so that you're not stressed? Get a head start. And finally, the one that I forgot, my boss isn't very nice to me at work. What would you say to this friend? Tell him to get off your back. Okay, so maybe a little brother, a little sister, the older sibling irritates them, or maybe a boss isn't very nice to you. You need to tell them to get off your back. Okay, so there we go. Lots of idiomatic phrases using get. There's a lot of information there for you to take in and to practice using. So I hope that you look at this recording and you pause it and you practice using it. The more you use it, the more familiar it becomes. So practice using these expressions, these idiomatic phrases and these collocations with get. Okay? So, how have you got on today? Do you feel happier using this very important verb, get? Have you got used to using it, or are you still getting used to using it? These are very complicated structures and might be a little bit intimidating. Get, used to using it, blah, blah, blah. It's quite confusing. But we're going to look more at this next lesson. So we've looked at the verb get today, so that will help. And then next lesson, we're going to keep going and we're going to talk about life changes again, but using be, get used to something. So this structure that people often find, students often find very confusing. Be used to something, get used to something. And we're also going to practice using and understanding connected speech. So, I hope that you've enjoyed today's lesson. I hope that you've got something out of it, and that I hope you are getting used to using the verb get. Okay, this complicated structure we will practice more next lesson in lesson 44. So I really hope you can join me, and see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me today, and take care. Bye.